What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video. Today I have an aim guide for you guys. A lot of you guys are probably new to Battlefield 2042 and might have to struggle with aiming, trying to learn the game. I'm having the problem as well, still trying to learn the game but improving over time. So I want to give you guys some tips, some guidance on where you can improve on your aiming and where you got to start practicing on if you want to get better. So I hope this guide will be any helpful for you guys. I wanted to start with centering. Centering is probably the most important thing in any shooter. Centering is pretty much getting your target in the middle of the screen before you're even ADSing. This is important to know because this will improve your hipfire aim as well. If you ADS or before you ADS, you have a crosshair. The middle of that crosshair is the center of your screen. So the moment you ADS, you will actually be pointed right at the middle of that crosshair. You can try it out on your monitor. Just ADS and you'll be right at the middle of it. You want to be knowing where to aim, so where to center. So let's, for example, if you know there's going to be an enemy around the corner, where are you going to center your screen? This is not pre-aiming, this is literally centering. So you want to be looking at the right place of the screen. So centering is very important. This also will tell you where you're going to aim once you're aiming in. So keep this in mind. Keep in mind where you're going to aim, in what for situations, where you're looking for, where the enemy could potentially be, and center your screen towards that direction. Now a quick tips in my settings. You have uniform soldier aiming, which if you turn it on, it will make your aim feel the same across different types of zoom. So if you're using a 6x zoom, if you're just using the iron sights, it will feel all the same. So this is definitely a tip. Turn this on, it will make you a little bit more consistent and it's better for your muscle memory. Alright, so the next thing we'll be talking about is sensitivity. It's a big subject for aiming, of course. I always get the question, should I use a high or a low sensitivity? The real deal is there is no perfect sensitivity. If you look at someone's settings, you cannot really copy them because they're very personalized and there's not something that works the best. It's very personal. Rather you should go low or high. It actually doesn't really matter. I always say the higher you can go and keep control, the better. Do it, because you can obviously move around faster and be more efficient. If you just can't control the high sensitivity, go with something low. It works perfect. I know a lot of very good players who play on the lowest sensitivity. One thing you should at least be capable of doing is tracking players. So if a player is running from the left to the right of your screen, or he's going full running close to mid-range, you have to be able to track those players. If you cannot track them, if you're zooming and your zoom sensitivity cannot keep up with these players, you have to go higher, and you have to increase your ADS speed sensitivity at least, but also your soldiers aim sensitivity. Also a little tip, your zoom or your ADS zoom sensitivity is a percentage of your soldier aim sensitivity. So let's say, for example, if you have a 50 soldier aim sensitivity and you go with 100 for your zoom sensitivity, your zoom and your soldier will feel the exact same because your soldier aim sensitivity is 100%. Let's say if you use both 50-50, then your ADS sensitivity is going to feel half as fast as your soldier aim sensitivity. So keep this in mind. I use 90 for the soldier and 60 for the zoom. So my zoom is a little bit lower than my soldier aim sensitivity. This isn't always the best for muscle memory, but it keeps. But I've been used to it now, and it works for me. So keep this in mind when you change your sensitivities. Another tip to improve muscle memory is to put your aim acceleration on 0%. This will allow you to, once you move your stick, you will instantly go to the full speed of your sensitivity. Now at the start, when you change this, you will actually feel like your sensitivity is faster than it usually is when it isn't. You just go at the full speed of your sensitivity faster. So you might have to adjust your sensitivity after changing your aim acceleration. Don't do this too much, of course. But put your aim acceleration to 0. I really recommend this. This will, for the long run, actually be a lot better for your muscle memory and improvement at the game. Same goes for dead zones. Dead zones, it's pretty much the same thing, but you can customize it a little bit more for your sticks. The lower your dead zone, the faster your controller will respond to your movement. So if you have a 0 dead zone, your right thumbstick, for example, will instantly start moving. This will also, if you lower this setting, you might also get controller drift faster. So keep this in mind when you change your dead zones. I have my dead zones actually a little lower than the default ones. I'm not sure in my settings video, which there will be a link. I will have my exact settings if you want to check them out. But I always recommend either go default or lower. Do not go higher. This will be very bad for your muscle memory. So now we've got the settings done. I want to go a little bit into where you should start practicing on so you can improve your aim. There's some things in the game you have to learn, like movement of the enemies. So if an enemy is moving, if it's running from the left to right of the screen, you have to know how fast he's moving and how much you have to move your thumbstick accordingly to his movement. This is something that just takes practice and knowledge of the game. You cannot know this within a day or two. This will take a lot of practice and a lot of work to actually nail this down, because there's a lot of different ways enemies can move. But if you actually get the hang of this and you find enemies more predictable, you will notice you make a lot of improvement. Out of nowhere, this will click. It feels impossible sometimes to keep track of the enemy movement, but you will get a day where it just clicks and it will feel a lot better. So keep this thing in mind. So if you have these previous things called got down, if you have centering down, you got the right sensitivity, and you know the movement of the enemies, now you can start practicing to strafe. It's also called moving while shooting, of course. So it means if you're ADSing and you're moving, which this allows you to do is this allows you to shoot players and make yourself a lot harder target. This requires, again, a lot of practice. I used to practice this on poles. You had or trees on the map. What you do is you ADS at the tree and you start shooting it, and you try to keep your aim right at the point of a tree or a pole. So you move left to right. Try this from different distances and try and nail this down. Once you get this down, you will notice that you will start winning a lot more gunfights if you allow yourself to be able to move while shooting and still be accurate. So the best way to practice this is find certain targets that don't move and start strafing them, so moving while shooting, and try to keep your aim as steady as possible on the point where you're aiming. Little quick note, Mikael, which is a specialist in the game, allows you to strafe faster. I personally really like this specialist, so you can start using this, but keep this in mind. If your strafing is not very good, don't use Mikael, because it can mess your aim up quite a bit. But if you're good at strafing, use it. It will be a big advantage over your enemy. If you're able to strafe fast and still be on target, you will have a big advantage over your enemy. So this is a way to practice that. Now, what also this has to do with centering again, what I explained at the start of the video, is where to aim. When you're approaching a situation, you want to be already centering the screen where you're wanting to aim. So you got to keep in mind, where could an enemy be? If you already know he's somewhere on the minimap, be sure to center your screen to where the enemy could be. Sometimes you even know there's going to be an enemy walking around the corner to you. You should know where to pre-aim, so you don't aim too high or too low. Like, you don't want to aim to the ground, you don't want to aim above the player. So this is like a little bit of experience again, knowing how big targets will be. And And if you nail this down very well, you can actually pre-aim headshots, which is very effective in the game. This is some next level thing to do, and it's also high risk. Sometimes this will work against you, but know where to aim. Know if there's going to be a stairs in the building, that you're not going to aim at the bottom of the stairs, because most of the time people will be camping there. Pre-aim a little bit above the stairs where a player could possibly be. So always keep in mind, where are you aiming? What are you trying to achieve? Where could an enemy be? And keep the center of your screen where you want to aim. Never aim too low, and you can aim too high. Sometimes if you're low on health, you want to try and go for the high risk, high reward headshot situation. So pre-aim for their face. This obviously could work and could be very clutch. So always keep in mind where you're trying to aim. Now there's one more thing I wanted to be talking about, and it's recoil control. I kind of don't really want to talk about it in this video, because I made an entire video dedicated to this subject. Recoil control is very important for having good aim, obviously, for improving this. I made an entire video dedicated to this. It will be the first link in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if it was helpful. I'll be coming out with a lot more tutorials like this and a lot more highlight videos for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.